So where are you going to put your line of symmetry, everybody? Put your hands up and you're going to go right down the middle. Good. It kind of, our lovely plaques kind of interrupt it, don't they? We got two on one side and the door now, but we don't worry about that. But yeah, we have to go from one side to the other side, right to left. How about, can I make one going down the middle of the house? So I have a top and a bottom. Would that make it symmetrical? What? What's wrong with it? I got some people shaking their heads no. What do you think, Henry?
Because the window and the air conditioning.
That would match. And there's something real. Look really carefully at a detail. What's wrong? Oh, what do you think?
The top has a roof and the bottom it doesn't.
That's the second one. There's a third thing. Look at it real carefully. What's something different about those top things that aren't there at the bottom things?
There's a big window and
that's it too. There's something else. Look at something kind of dark green. What are you looking at, Dad? Oh, here she goes. What? They don't match. Right. One's louver and one's out of the piano. Very good. So when we come into the parlor, we're going to have you sit down on the settee, or you can sit on the wooden chairs around, and we're going to look for lines of symmetry in that room. There's lots of them. If your mind's just going to go, oh my gosh, there's so many. I can't. Keaton's got one right there. Where is it? Yeah, it goes right down through here, doesn't it? If I took the time to count all these, you'd probably have the same number over here as I have over here. I've got an urn carved over here, and I got one carved over here, don't I? Perfect line of symmetry, very balanced. But
the cabinet.
The cabinet, even in furniture, same kind of style over here. If I took this off, that kind of throws it off, doesn't it? But that's it. Even that goes all the way down underneath too, with the drawers. Very good. Another good line of symmetry. Yep.
That chair right there.
Yeah, with the material and the way it's made. Exactly. Right, coming down that way. Got another one? I don't know.
The curtains.
The curtains? Coming right there, isn't it? Yep. Any horizontal ones? I don't think we... I know, that's kind of horizontal. Look down by your feet. What do you think? Oh, what do you see?
Carpet.
The carpet. Yeah, look at that good pattern. That's a math pattern if I've ever seen one, right? Every other one lined up just right. So why did they do things very symmetrically? Why did you want to put things symmetrically?
It was, at this time, it was the federal style.
It's a federal style, and it just showed everything was in balance. And one thing wasn't tilted one way or the other. It was just a sign that our government, our new country, was going to be very balanced, it was going to be very straight, it was going to be lasting. Even when I decorated, look at the top of the mantle. What do you want to say about the things on the mantle? I know. What do you want to say about those things on the mantle? What do you think?
They're symmetrical.
Yeah, I've got the candles on each one, and then I've got the urns, and then even look at the vase. It's even symmetrical. There's a picture on either side, and there are these things here, so I could split it this way. Pretty good, huh? So they're very symmetrical. If I took this away, maybe Mrs. Stephenson, maybe it was broken, maybe it got lost, and so she left it like that. And you came in the room, what would you think?
Something's wrong.
Something's wrong. It doesn't look right, does it? It's kind of, yeah. Are your houses symmetrical, do you think?
Yeah.
When you go home tonight, I kind of look around and you could really get on your mom and say, Mom, that's not very symmetrical the way you decorated the fireplace, huh? She probably has maybe some more pictures over here than over here. You can point that out to her tonight, so that's what you learned, right? Okay, so very much symmetrical in here. Look at where the windows are. We're going to look really big now. Look at there's windows over here, and then what's on the other side of them? Windows. So I could even split my room in half, couldn't I? And say, okay, this matches over here to this side. Look at the wallpaper too. Yeah, it does. So if I tell you guys, let's do some things, it has to do with some geometry or some geography now, and some things with science. If I tell you that they built the house with the windows here and there, I wonder why they put them that way. Why didn't they put windows over here on this side? Why would I want windows here and I want windows here? What do you think?
If you put it there and there, it wouldn't be symmetrical.
Well, that's true too. Very good. And now we go into the hallway. Why wouldn't I want to put windows? I could just like board that up though and put windows over here.
Because that's the fireplace.
That would be the fireplace. It's something to do with direction. We're going to look out that window. It's kind of a cloudy day. But if now we're thinking some other things. What do you think, Nayla? So it's not so obvious today. You're here at high noon too, so something's over our head and you don't really see it. The morning group did. I'm going to look at the weather. What are you going to say?
I was going to say to see what weather it was.
I am, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you, I'll tell you that this morning the sun came up over there. So what direction is that? The sun came up over there this morning. It's east. So then what is that direction?
West.
West. So then what's that direction?
South.
I got east, I got west, so I'm looking at
North.
north, and this way would be
South.
south. So why would I put the windows in the east and the west? Oh, now it makes sense, doesn't it? Michael, why?
Because that's where the sun goes up and sets.
Yeah, so I'm going to get the most sun, all right. Well, why do I want so much sunlight in here?
So you can have, so it's bright enough.
Yeah, Henry, go turn the lights on for us, would you?
You guys
I don't have lights. How come?
This is
This
1820.
is 1820s, that's right. So all of my light has to come from what, Henry?
Candlelight and sunlight.
Yeah, and so obviously I'm going to get as much as I can. And look at, boy, I got 2 over here and I got 2 over there. Now you talked about the weather. It makes sense too because Parker, reach behind you with that little stick there. See that piece of wood there? Hold that, come up here by me so the kids can see it. So this was over by the windows, by all the windows. And it goes like this for Parker. So now why would it be by a window and what's its job? What's its job? What do you think, Parker? You were right behind, you were right in front of it. Did it talk to you? Did it say what it was there for? It's about weather, it's about windows. It's kind of stuff in here.
Windows up?
Yeah, I'm going to hold the windows up. You look how clever. I can even have it low or high, can't I? Okay, put that back. So I've got one on each one. I could open up all these windows, and what would that do to this room? Aiden, what's it going to do to the room? I open up all these windows, all 4 windows.
Yeah. So make it kind of cold in here.
Yeah, it is going to get cooler in here, isn't it? Because the wind's going to come in, isn't it? We know out on the prairie that all the weather usually comes in from the west. That was the west you told me. So I'm going to look out those windows, and I went and had all those buildings and probably not very many trees out there either, and I would have seen all that sky and thought, ooh, here comes a storm. And so I better close the windows. Or it's getting kind of hot. I'm going to open the windows. It's a clear day. I'm going to let all the wind come from the east, from the west, and go out to the east, and I'll get a nice breeze. When you go out in the hallway, you'll see there's 2 doors, too. You came in that front door, and you're going to go out that back door. And so on a hot day, what would I do with those doors? Open them up, and then I get a breeze going through that. Now, you also told me you went and looked out the side to see about the window. Quinn, how did you know today to wear shorts to school and not wear long pants?
Because it was sunny out, and you could see it wasn't raining.
Okay, good. So you looked outside, huh? Okay, how about London, sorry. How was it?
Sometimes we usually look on the internet.
Yes, you looked on the internet, or maybe you looked on the phone or something, or I've had kids tell me, oh, the radio, that's kind of an old thing, isn't it? They turned on the radio and they heard it in the morning, and so they told you what to do. So in the 1820s, what do? Do I do it London's way, or do I do it Quinn's way? Quinn's way, because I've got to be able to look. I don't have those things, do I, Quinn? He said right there, Henry said no electricity. So I don't have any of those little conveniences. So I have to look out the window. So I'm going to look at nature. I'm going to be a really good scientist, even back in the 1820s. I'm going to look out the window and look at patterns. Every day I looked out there and I saw, well, the leaves were blowing that way, and so then all of a sudden I realized that the weather's coming from the west. I just made, I looked at that, and there's the pattern. And then maybe one day I looked out there and I said, I found there's a beehive up in the tree. Where is it? There's a beehive in the tree, and the last 2 days those bees weren't going very far. They were just hanging around that beehive. And so when bees stay close to the hive, what do you think that was telling me? Every day I saw that, and then something happened in the afternoon. What?
There's a storm nearby.
Yeah, that's it. This one said rain. It wasn't quite too strong, just probably the same thing. Yeah, so every day I looked out there and I saw those bees. Oh, look at those bees are hanging around the hive. And all of a sudden, a couple hours later, it rained. Next day I saw the same thing. Next day I saw the same thing. So then all of a sudden I kind of made up a rhyme to myself. And I taught it to my kids and said, if you see the bees are staying close to the hive, it means that rain is close by. How about at night? Maybe I looked out and I want to make like a prediction too about the weather. And so at night I saw the moon. And around the moon there was a ring. So it's ring around the moon. I wonder what that meant. Well, then I noticed in the morning something happened. Well, I'm hearing everybody's coming up with their own. Ring around the moon. What do you think? How do you think I'm going to end it? I know. Ring around the moon.
It's almost midnight.
It would be probably, but I gotta have that. You know, I was kind of rhyming before, wasn't I? Parker, what do you think?
Ring around the moon. A storm is coming soon.
Is that right? Yeah, you got it. That was pretty good. We've had all kinds of suggestions, but soon was kind of the obvious, wasn't it? Something's going to be coming soon. So you see how they make up these little weather sayings? Have you ever done weather sayings in class or something? It's kind of fun to make them up. And then you kind of start doing predictions with the weather. Okay,
You've got about 15 minutes.
Okay. Let's see. You talked about the candles. Let's do a little bit thing here too about, I don't have any furnace in my house, so how am I going to get it warm in here too? If I had a cold day, I wanted the windows up because it was kind of hot and stuffy in here. So what do you think?
Get the fire.
Yeah, I'm going to have a fire, and so we go upstairs too. You're going to see if there's a fireplace up there then too, so it will keep the heat in. And now I see something on my candles. You talked about candles giving me light. What did I put around my candles? What did I put around those candles? And I wonder why I did that.
A glass, like a glass.
Yeah. Now why would I do that? There's a couple of reasons why. What's one?
To keep the fire going.
Yeah, that probably would, because if it was windy in here, it might go out. That's good.
To prevent to
Yeah.
start a fire.
Yeah, that's kind of safety. There's another scientific one too. If I put a piece of glass around something that's lit, what does that do? What have you learned in science about glass and light? I'll wait for it. What do you think?
It reflects the light so you get more.
That's it. Yeah, it reflects the light, so you're going to see more of it. It's going to make it even brighter. So sometimes you're going to see, like we have mirrors different places, and you might think it's kind of odd that you put a mirror there, but mirrors are the same way if you've got that light reflecting off a mirror. So a lot of times, this room isn't as bad because we've got a lot of windows, but sometimes in the dining room especially, there's only 2 windows, and so you know what we put up behind the mantle here in front of, behind all the candles? We put a big, long mirror. And it's too short, it's too tall for me to even do, or too short, I can't remember which one. It doesn't help me to look at what I'm, fix my hair or anything. It's really there primarily to get that light reflecting back out into the room. It's pretty cool. Okay, and we also have carpeting on the floor. Would that keep my feet warm? Yeah, that would help too. Okay, we're going to do 1820s rules, manners I should say, not rules, manners. So I'm going to have the girls stand up first, so it's very orderly. So girls stand up. You're going to go and follow me to the door. And you guys can sit on the floor and be nice and comfortable. Just spread yourselves out on this floor. I'm going to sit in the green chair, but I'll be moving around. So just kind of take it all in because I'm going to ask you for lines of symmetry. You know I am. You know I am. Boys, I'm going to be asking for lines of symmetry in here. We said it was going to be lots and lots of them, right? Now you had the preview downstairs, so you should be like that, right? All right, glasses back on. How do I say Shania? Oh, good. Shania, where's the line of symmetry?
Down the chimney.
She's got it. She's got her on the mantle. It's kind of an identical mantle almost downstairs, isn't it? It's different color. Yeah. So we've got it. They carved it exactly. Can you imagine somebody taking that much time to carve to make sure that it's very symmetrical? What's another one?
The doors.
Yeah, very good. Where's that line of symmetry going? Down or across?
Across.
Go, which way? Maybe stand up and show me. Sometimes it's kind of hard when you're sitting down. I don't know which way you're looking. Yeah, she's coming down that way, right. So I can fold those cupboard doors into each other. Good job. Anybody else got one? What have you got?
The bed.
The bed. Stand up again and tell me which way it's going. Yeah, I'm going down, huh? So I got one side going to the other side. Because look at the back. Is the back like the front of the bed?
No.
No, the posts are different and it has a headboard to it. So very good. So the bed is even the furniture's symmetrical. Was that yours or what do you got one? Dan?
That whole wall.
The whole wall. Very good. So he's even taken in the paper and the cabinets. We don't have these closed, but you can see. Whoops, maybe you can't. You can see that it is, right? Yeah, they're built exactly the same. Perfect. Alan.
The drawers.
Yeah, she's got the furniture again. Look at the doors coming down that way. Very good. So we got a very symmetrical room. It looks just like the one downstairs kind of, doesn't it? The same with the two windows on both sides. Why did we put the windows there? Remember why we put the windows there, Braden?
To get light.
Yeah, I want to get the most light. So let's talk about the weather group. We've got lots of things to do about how we can keep, it's a bedroom. We want it nice and cozy and warm, don't we? So who told me where we got the heat? Who was it that told me that? Yeah. Where did we get the heat? That's the heat. I want heat.
Oh.
Remember?
On the
Fireplace. So I got the fireplace here. Now where did I put the bed? Right across from it. Why did I do that? Why would I do that? Ready?
So the bed doesn't catch on fire.
Oh, that'd be a good one. Oh, that's a good one. I didn't think about that one. There we go. Okay, yeah, I got this bed, and it's facing the fire. And what do you know about heat? What do you know about the heat? Shania, what do you know about it?
That it, to get it going, the,
Where's it going to go in that fireplace?
it will go straight to the bed.
Yeah, it's going to go. It's going to go straight out here to the bed. Now they've got this fancy thing up here. Do any of you girls have this in your bedroom on your beds? I know you wish you could. I wish you do. I know. It's called the canopy. It's pretty, isn't it? But does it have a function? Think it would have a function? In the 1820s, we didn't do anything just to be fancy. We always kind of had to have a purpose to it also. And it would be kind of frivolous if I did it, everything had to be just fancy. So I want to have a reason why I put this up here. Braden, what do you think it is?
So at night, you don't get as much light going at you.
That would help. You're right. It's not going to be as bright. What do we know about heat when it comes into a room? Where does it go? It goes across, but then it also does what?
Up.
It goes up. It rises. I got a high ceiling, don't I? Well, gee. I'm not sleeping up there, am I? I'm way down here. So what's this going to do? It's going to trap the heat and keep it in there. And I've even got curtains on the side that I could pull all of those around, and I could pull them right here and leave this open so the heat could still come in, and then it'd be really warm, wouldn't it? Now, I've got a lot of blankets and covers on that, but Nayla, go get that instrument right there that's standing up. Hold that up. Let's see if anybody can guess what might be. You make the first guess. What do you think it is?
A pot that you would put coals in.
Oh, bring it over here. Let's see. A pot you put coals in. Why would I want to do that? Let's look inside. What do you think? Did I have coals in there once upon a time, you think?
Yeah.
Yes, I did. Now, Nyla, is it Nayla or Nyla? Nayla, hold on to this. And Pat, kind of hold on to it so that you can let everybody else just have a touch of it. And Keaton's going to tell me what it feels like. What's the temperature, Keaton? It's cold. What kind of material is this? It could be metal. It's a metal. Let's just say it's metal. And what do you know about metal when there's coals near metal? What's going to happen, Samuel?
It gets really hot.
It gets really hot. Now, tell them how the handle feels, Nayla. Is it hot or cold or just neutral? Or just kind of... It's neutral. It's made of what? Wood. So it's not a very good conductor. It's going to stay that way, isn't it? It's kind of like, so it's not going to get hot. So she's going to have, Quinn, you pretend that you're the servant boy. I always should have put a shovel. You should have a little shovel. You should have a little shovel over there with those coals. You would have scooped some coals up there. Put some coals in there for her. You on your shovel, yeah. And she's going to go. Now you have to come over here and help her too. It's kind of a two-person job. So come over here. You're going to lift up the blankets on this side. I know we're kind of... So lift them up. Because we want a warm bed, don't we? Now, not all the way. Now, that's not going to help. That's the bottom of it. So I'm not going to sleep on those ropes. So we want to put it down, maybe even this. I'm sorry. We're going to put it like that. Okay. So now Nayla's going to come in here. What are you going to do, dear? Here she goes. Come on, servant girl. Do it fast. Mrs. Stephenson is waiting. She's cold. She's in her dressing gown. She wants to get in bed. And Quinn says, okay, she didn't get any ashes on anything, did she? Then she'd have to do that laundry and get all over, wouldn't she? So then Quinn put the covers back over so the heat doesn't go out. And she would do that. She might go into the children's bedroom and do the same thing for them. Thanks. You can put that over there. So now I've got a neat kind of tool. Isn't that called a bed warmer that you can warm it up that way? Now I have something down here too. Ooh. What do you think? Looks pretty old, isn't it? It's one of those things that Roxanne says is really old, huh? And so I've got a little door. Kind of reminds me of the little house with the cricket in Times Square, doesn't it? And I've got a little tray here. It's pretty grubby, isn't it? So what do you think they're doing with this? You got all kinds of clues. What do you think? What do you think, Braden?
They put holes in it so I can heat up.
Yeah. And then what am I going to do with it? It's got holes punched around there. Doesn't it? You see the holes? So I got some coals in there that's going to be hot. It's tin. What am I going to do with it?
You're going to put it under the bed to keep it warm?
I could. It's got a handle though. It's kind of portable. I'm going to go into town. I'll give you this scenario. I'm going to go into town on a really snowy day to go in and get some bags of sugar and flour and salt. And it's really cold. I've got this wagon with the horse hitched up to it. And so what do you think, Henry?
So when you're going, you can heat yourself.
Yeah, I'm going to put it down here on the floor of the buggy or the wagon. I'm going to put my feet up here. And if I put my skirt over it, or if I just had, if I was one of the gentlemen, I'd just put my feet up here, maybe put a blanket over it. And then the heat would come up. It'd be my own little space heater. Pretty good idea. Pretty good invention too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe I was just sitting here and I didn't want a whole fire and I just wanted to, the fire was kind of going down and I wanted to get really warm. Maybe I was sick and I wanted some extra warmth too. So neat, little foot warmer. Whoops. Okay, let's see. You're sitting, we talked about the carpeting makes it warm too, doesn't it? You see the line of symmetry in that carpeting? And then there's really a couple of them. This one we can go, we can get some vertical and we can get some horizontal. I think we could even probably do like a diagonal. Can you see it? With your hands, very good. Okie dokie. Let's see, what haven't we talked about in here?
Okay.
3 more minutes. Okay. Let me think. Heat, temperature, temperature. I'm really stumped. You look around and see if you can stump me with something. See what you want to ask me. Okay, Shania, and then you can ask me a question. Shania.
Is that something that Benjamin really wrote?
No, but writing was very important to them back then. That's how they communicate with one another. So we have that on display. Mrs. Stephenson actually was the letter writer. She was the one that we had a lot of letters. And that would have been an area right there when they got up in the morning, they would have sat down, and that might have been one of the first things she did while she waited for her breakfast. The servants would have brought her breakfast up here, and she would have eaten at that little table. Good question. Anybody else looking around the room? Michael?
What is this?
Just decoration? No. It's what?
To take the bed apart.
Oh.
There's a hidden,
Slide it over,
Yeah.
Michael.
there's
Yeah,
like
I
a
know.
hidden bolt in
So
there.
see, there's a bolt.
That's
See,
what holds the bed
Wouldn't that
together.
look ugly if I just left it like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty clever of them, right? Look at what the candles, when we look around the room with the candles in the hurricane lamps and everything, what are the candle holders made of? Can you tell? It looks like gold, right. And it's a metal, but is it dull or is it shiny?
Shiny.
So again, if I have a shiny candle holder, what's that doing to the light? Braiding? Yeah, and so even just some of those simple little things, it makes all the difference in the world. Instead of just having like a wooden candle holder there, they spent some more money and got the brass candle holders and they put it with that, put it in that way. Look at, we've talked about mirrors before too. Do you see all the different mirrors around? They do have a purpose in that, you know, Mrs. Stephenson could sit there and comb her hair. And over in the corner, Colonel Stephenson would be shaving over there with the shaving mirror. But look where they are. There's a candle by them. That candle's going to reflect off that mirror. Sometimes we put a mirror up here above the fireplace too. We've got a picture that we're redoing, so that's why that's kind of blank. Any more questions before we have to go downstairs? You got one more? What do you mean?
Why is there one sculpture up there and not one up there?
Good point. It's not symmetrical, is it? Is it? That bugged you, didn't it? I know, it does me too. We need to either take her away or get another one, right? One more, Henry. Good observation. That's good. That's how they would have decorated. You would have it in your house. Does your mom have pictures of you all over the place? Yeah. Well, those would be pictures of their children too, and so they do silhouettes. Have you ever done silhouettes like in art class or something, or a special project? It's pretty neat that you shine a light and you take the profile of the picture of your face, and then it looks like you. Girls, you know what I'm going to ask you to do first? Stand up, boys. Make a pathway for the girls.